Simplification isn't just a recent trend in logo design. It's something we've seen in some degree for a number of years, and you can actually track that back through brand evolution. In logo design, simplification is one of the strongest movements that we've seen at the very top of the industry.
But why is that? And is it even important to you or me as a logo designer?
Also, where is the logo design industry actually heading anyway?
But let's quickly step back in time for a moment, right back to when computers were first being integrated properly into the professional work streams of graphic designers.
Back then, designers were starting to get access to gradients, drop shadows, quick color fills, and all of this with just a click of a button. And so obviously, people started to experiment with all sorts of effects, and it was almost like a way to show off the tech at the time.
However, sometimes and quite often, this would overpower the actual brief or the main intention of a design.
Its very purpose, which is to become an easily recognizable hook in the minds of the consumer. In a fast-paced world where these days we have so many distractions from smartphones to televisions, laptops and tablets, it's becoming increasingly more difficult for a brand to hook itself in the minds of a consumer.
And let's not forget the ever-decreasing size of someone's attention span these days. So if you are still watching today's video, kudos to you.
Brands have pivoted and adapted over time to ensure that their brand can be recognized at a simple glance, and will in fact stick in the memory of you, the consumer. Of course, a lot of branding is about color and identity away from the logo. The logo is just one cog in the grinding machine that is a brand.
But it's still a hugely important role in the branding machine, as you probably know. And there is another reason that some people don't really recognize why brands are simplifying their logos over time, and that is confidence.
The original logo designs of brands 30, 40, 50 years ago were often playful, cartoonish, and dare I say, juvenile. As the brands have become more solidified in our minds and have established themselves, they have peeled back the noise and bravely refined the logo to the bare essentials. It shows confidence and amplifies the brand to create a distinctive presence.
Recently though, the playing field has totally changed.
Logos were mainly seen on billboards and cinema screens, and then later they were moved onto television screens. Now in today's world, almost half of a brand's interaction with the consumer is actually on the tiny little screens you carry around in your pockets. Recent data shows there are currently over 4 billion internet users worldwide, and a whopping 48.2% of those users access the internet on their smartphones or on mobile devices. Now, if a company doesn't take mobile users into account, they are then ignoring almost half of their consumer base, which is of course a very silly thing to do from a business standpoint. What would work best on a phone screen? The original Apple logo from the 1970s, or the current one we have today?
Yeah, of course, the answer is pretty obvious, as you might be aware of. We also then have to factor in the amount of logo designs that exist out there in the world today.
There are literally hundreds of thousands of logo designs out there waiting to be viewed. Are we going to remember all of them, or even just 10% of them? Probably not. And so to actually just compete, brands have elected to go down a more simpler route. All of these factors are why logo designs are becoming more simple, and it's not a trend, it's a necessity to just survive as a brand.
Now here's the juicy part that I know a lot of people, or some people, won't like and some won't agree with, but it's pretty much the cold hard truth.
As a logo designer, your job is not to make a pretty design or something that looks cool.
You're meant to design something that will give your clients' business more traction, more revenue, and just more of a presence out there in the world. I feel like some logo designers out there are at heart illustrators, digital illustrators. And there's nothing really wrong with that, of course. But in the corporate world of brand and logo design, you need to be grounded and you need to realize who you're designing for and what your role is in that kind of operation.
With that in mind, you need to understand the playing field you're operating in and the target audience of the brand. There will be times where a simple and refined logo doesn't fit the brief, but often less is more, and it is about removing the noise so that the message is clear.
But hey, if you want to learn some crucial tips when it comes to designing logos, just click the video on screen, and until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.